Well, we still have plenty of moisture, that's for sure. We're not dry. No need to start up that thing. Thank goodness, because I don't want to do it. So, but let's see, how's our corn look? Definite tar spot. It's definitely progressing. The lesions are getting bigger, more defined, bumpier. When we were first seeing it a long time ago, they were flat, and I mean they do get some definition to them as they mature and elevation. Like this leaf here's got quite a bit on it, and you can see that it is starting to kill that plant tissue. So one of the questions I asked Wade, and it didn't make the video earlier this week, but does a disease on this? Are we worried about it because it's killing off leaf surface and tissue, right? So everywhere there's a little black speck on this leaf can no longer do photosynthesis. And in the case of some diseases like northern corn leaf blight, when you get a big lesion on here, it basically cuts off anything in that leaf beyond it. And so it can't get back into the plant. Any photosynthesis or sugars or anything that's happening there isn't contributing to the plant beyond where the lesions are. So is that the case here, where it's just the dead leaf tissue and anything beyond it that is causing a problem? Or is it a disease? And like when you and I get sick, you know, you may not show a ton of symptoms, but it just makes you feel bleh and yucky and whatever. Does it make the corn plant kind of feel that way? It's hard to describe, but that's kind of what I was getting at. And he basically said they used to say that it was just the leaf tissue that was dying off that was causing the problem. However, Wade did a lot of research in a prior job with a university on soybeans, and one of the things they were looking at specifically was frog eye leaf spot, which is a disease they get farther south from here quite commonly. And when they would have a leaf with 30% defoliation or lesions on it, it would cause a much more significant yield reduction than if you had 30% insect feeding, or, you know, loss of leaf tissue because of some other problem, you know, hail or insect feeding other than a disease. So his opinion, and I kind of agree with him, and I'd have to do some research to see if this is legit industry belief or not, but is that the disease is causing more damage than just the leaf tissue that it's affecting. It's actually making that plant react to it and shutting it down in a certain way that's causing more yield reduction. So that's why we don't like seeing it. And even though it's bottom leaves that are drying up and dying off, I think it's affecting more than just that. And that's why I don't see any right here, but well, that's interesting. That's not tar spot. That's something different. Anyway, but that's why when you start to see a really bad leaf, like that one we had back there, and I'll show you if I find another one, it's actually killing leaf tissue off that does not have just you know, just where the lesions are. It's actually turning those leaves brown in between the lesions. So yeah, I don't see any too bad right here, but like on this leaf you can see even in between the lesions, this one's not too bad yet, but we're starting to die off and kill that leaf, and that'll happen worse and worse as we go all the way up. So now back to this field. I've talked about this a lot in the last week because it's top of mind, right? It seems that our tar spot is blowing in, and that's why it's worse along these lanes. It's specifically worse right along the bottom. I've gotten a lot of comments and questions of, you know, when we sprayed this, did they turn it off on these lanes so maybe we didn't get good fungicide coverage right on this edge? Well, no way, not possible. I did not see the airplane when they flew this field and sprayed the fungicide, but I'm almost certain they would have flown across the rows because the rows are longer in that direction, and there ain't no way they're shutting it off for a 10-foot gap when they're running, what are they going, 120 mile an hour across this field? Like it's just not possible. Now, it is possible that the fungicide did not penetrate down to these bottom leaves in here, even though we've got this big gap and opening. And so when the spores come drifting through the atmosphere and fall down in here, they fall on those leaves and affect it more. And I think what we're seeing, because as soon as you walk out there 2 or 3 rows, we don't see it nearly the same. Wade was very much of the opinion that if it was spores that were coming out of our soil, if it was us kicking stuff up in these lanes and driving through it, it's in the soil, it would be affecting the lower leaves out in there just as much as along the edge, or pretty close to it. And we're not seeing that. So we're pretty sure it's atmospheric. It's coming in from, blowing in from neighboring fields, or falling out of the air, basically. And And once you get out into the field, it doesn't have as much surface area. There's not as much airflow and movement for it to get down into the lower canopy in there. It fell on the upper canopy out in the field, which is what we protected with the fungicide. So should we have sprayed the second time? Maybe. It's to the point now where I feel like we're too late. Had I scheduled it and planned it and done it 21 days or even a month after the first application, we probably wouldn't see what we're seeing now. But I don't think it's that bad out there. And, you know, we were seeing some tar spot lesions back in the middle of July, right? And we sprayed it very, very shortly after we saw it. So one of the things that we know about tar spot is it takes 14 to 21 days for the lesions to actually show up once that plant's been affected. Once the lesions start showing up, they start emitting more spores, causing new infections to start. And so when we sprayed it very early in the life cycle of the tar spot, we were seeing it, but it was, I mean, we hadn't been affected for very long. So we sprayed it. We essentially hit the pause button on the tar spot generations, I guess you would say, because all those spores that were getting put out by that very first lesions and infections that we had were then being killed by the fungicide or unable to infect the leaf because the fungicide was protecting it, and that kind of a situation. And so it basically set it back a generation, and what we're seeing now would have been happening a month ago or 21 days ago. And at that point it would be like, absolutely, we need to spray it now, or it would have been too late and we would have already lost a lot of yield. So we did the right thing. We could have tried and sprayed some more, but it's expensive. I mean, you're looking $30+ an acre to spray fungicide. It has to pay back. So I'm still pretty excited about this corn. I don't know that we're going to hit 300 out here, but we're going to have dang good corn. Oh yeah, that also reminds me, when Wade was up here on Tuesday, it was Tuesday I think, he flew his drone. I showed you that. We were flying the drones, and he has some software that he's hooked up with that they actually take images, NDVI images, and can put together a plant health map. So it wasn't actually a video, but here's that map. And we just did kind of the square part of the field, didn't do it all because we didn't have time when we were flying that there. But you can see where the better and poorer areas are, and for some reason on the would be the east edge there's a couple of really dark green circles. I don't know what's different out there. We could probably go out there and find them and take a look. And then there's some areas that are a little bit more red. For the most part, I think this field is really, really even, and I'm pretty happy with it. If there was some areas that were much greener on that map than others in strips or whatever, those would be the areas to go and hit with to take our corn growers entries from. Basically, you find the best areas in the field, but nothing jumps out at me as being far better than anything else. So we've done a good job keeping this corn all healthy and alive and watered all summer. I came over to where the other hybrid is, and I found this leaf. You can see this is actually in the underside where all that tar spot is, but you can see how it's killing the leaf tissue off, and that leaf, it's gonna die fast. So is what it is. It's a little bummer because I'm sure that we're losing a little bit. The question is how much. But for having 34 or 35,000 ears like that, that's pretty dang good corn. That's really good. Them kernels are fat, thick, big. Yeah. All right, I am back around the farm here, and or back to the farm, I guess. We're gonna go do some mowing real quick. I mentioned yesterday when we were moving dirt that we've got a pile of dirt kind of back in the woods that I want to move, and the dump trailer is here, so I can use that. We're gonna take the loader, the mower, off of this and put the loader back on this tractor because Dad needs to use it with the forks for moving some logs around and stuff. But we can put a bucket on and use it to load some dirt while I need it. So we're gonna do some mowing first, and then get the mower unhooked. So we've got a waterway that comes through the woods here. There's actually a main big old tile, 18 I think, buried underneath in there. But we also have a surface drain to follow the waterway back there. So this is a big old pile of dirt that came from cutting the waterway in there, and I want it. I don't want the grass that's on it. but I want the dirt. So we're gonna try and mow it up a little bit. Obviously I'm not gonna be able to mow that, but we're gonna mow around it to make it better to work back here. So. Windows on this tractor are dirty, sorry. All right, well, I knew today was gonna be a little bit of a slow day. There's a whole group of people outside that are getting together here this afternoon, meeting and stuff, my aunts and uncles, and just visiting and all kinds of stuff. So we're not accomplishing a whole lot today. I do want to go get that mower unhooked and get the loader put on. We might move a little bit of dirt. We might not. I don't really know. I've been working on my website's stuff here a little bit more. We're getting close. I've almost got the Border View one ready to launch. The Excel one I'm still updating some stuff on. So we're getting there. We're getting there. But it's just one of those days. To my credit, though, I had a really productive week, especially on Wednesday when we did, stalk stompers, we did concaves, we did radio. We got a lot done. And then yesterday we did those tracks. Like, wow, we've gotten a lot done this week. All right, we'll go ahead and get this thing unhooked here. It's got kind of a built-in jack there that you can pin down. I'm going to try and get it up on that block, but I got to lift the mower up so that it raises, and we'll get it on there. And then it should be okay. We'll just leave the wings unfolded, because if you don't lock them up, they'll go down anyway, and it's fine. We're probably not done with it for the year, so it's not like it's going to sit here that long. Something like that. That jack stand is really nice, and you just use the hydraulics to raise and lower it, but it's a small base, and it will sink into the ground if you don't put a board under it. It might push this board into the ground, honestly. It's that heavy, but we'll try it. Okay, now let's see if I can remember how to hook this loader back up. It's sitting over here. We'll get it. All right, well, we drove into it. We've got to get this pin set down in there, and then this hole lined up with this hole. But we use the hydraulics to do it, so I'm going to hook those up all right into here. Now as I move this, nope, it's locked. Oh, other way. There the pins fell in. Let's put it in neutral, that would help. Look at that. Now, let's see if our holes are lined up. Pretty darn close. Just like that. Now, we can lift it up. And we'll back out of the weeds, and then we'll pull our stands. Cool. Well, that was easy. And then you got to take these stands off. And they slide right in there. Something like that. Yeah. There. Good to go. I can go scoop some dirt. All right, well, there's not that much dirt here, but there is some, and it's good topsoil. So I attempted to scrape some of the sod off the grass and dump it on the back side here. And we'll see if we can't scoop it up and not get too much of that stuff in it, is what it is. But yeah, so I'm gonna walk up and get the 4440 in the dump trailer, and we can load that up. All right, that'll work. We got a load, and well, there's a fair bit more. Maybe 4 or 5 trailer loads here. It's not a ton of dirt, but it's something. It'll cover some space in my yard. Well, that's my 3rd trailer load. I think I'm gonna quit for tonight. There's more in here, but a lot of it's got a lot of grass and roots and stuff in it. I don't know. We might take some more out. There's more back there than I thought. I could take probably 2 or 3 more pretty easily, but we're gonna go with this now. I need to get a hold of the guy that's doing my grading and leveling stuff and tell him to come back. I certainly can move a lot more dirt with those scrapers than I can with this dump trailer, though. Like, those are the 2 pathetic little loads that I have dumped so far, and I have a 3rd one here. You see all that dirt right there? That is 1 load with them scrapers. 1. And it includes that, because I dumped part of it, and then, yeah. It's kind of a drop in the bucket thing here. Wait. There. It is nice I can get over here a little bit on this side where I don't have enough room to run the can't see. Not that the scrapers don't have enough room to turn around, so. I go up too far with the dump, then it doesn't like to come back down, so not go too far. Anyway, there we go. We got a little dirt moved. Makes me feel better. Okay. All right. Next week, we've got to start thinking about treating wheat. So I've got 2 kegs of Vibrance. That's left over from last year. There's not a ton in that one, but we've got another new full keg there. So we'll probably we gotta clean the treater up from beans. I never did that this summer, so we got to do that and then get ready to treat some wheat. We got a bunch to do. I got a bunch of people that have called me and want to bring stuff to me to have it treated, so that's a good thing. But the other thing we got to do is get our lids back on our fertilizer tanks. We got the gaskets yesterday, so we can get that done. We might have some fertilizer showing up here in a week or two, so we got to at least get the one tank put back together. Anyway, I am done for the day, so have a great weekend, everybody. I think we might be going to the lake tomorrow, which we have not done very much this summer, so I'm excited about that. Should put the battery charger on the boat. It was dead last time we went. That would be a good idea. I'm going to do that. Maybe I should get the boat and put it in the shop. I'm going to just do that. Just put the boat in the shop, and I can do it anyway. Yeah, so that's my plan here this afternoon, or the rest of tonight, and for tomorrow, and we got some friends coming up on Sunday, it sounds like, so we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Hit that like and subscribe button. Questions and comments, leave them down below, and see you guys. So I mentioned that my aunts and uncles are here, my dad's brothers and sisters. Well, Rylan is currently giving one of my aunts a ride on the gator, or the go-kart.